Hi, Michael. I wanted to start off by responding to one of your questions about the syllable count of the poems and the submissions. So you can absolutely, please do submit longer poems. The reason that I include that 70 syllable minimum is just because I don't want students submitting, a two-line poem and thinking that that will fulfill the assignment. I want to encourage students, especially intro to poetry students, to write a little bit longer, to push themselves a little bit farther than the bare minimum. So you can absolutely include more syllables and write longer work. I would love to read it. I would love if you would do that. I think that's the right way to go. That's really a requirement that I'm including for students who are hesitant to get started and um, are looking to do the bare minimum, which is clearly that's not the case here. So I hope that answers your question. Um, and let's see, in terms of your poetry submission, I think it seems like you might have cut yourself short, based on the assumption that it was only supposed to be 70 syllables. So I'm so sorry, if I, gave you that impression through the way the assignment was written. I do think this poem is off to a great start. I think, even just the details from the very first line, Dorothy and Michael, but I don't acknowledge him, sets the tone of the poem, sets the tone of this idea of love and conflict, which is continued in the second line of the poem, love carrying arms, which is juxtaposed with raging temper and heavy hands, right? So I think there's this really interesting thing happening already in this first draft where you're introducing this comparison of parents, this conflict, and this difference, this sort of stark difference between them. You ask what in general would make this poem flow more fluidly. And I think if you write it longer, you'll find that flow. I think there's already a really good start. And had my assignment not cut you off mid-sentence, so to speak, I think that you already have a really good flow. So I think just writing it longer and continuing along with this idea of including these lists, including these geographies, including these details of your life, of where you're from, um, will give you the flow that you're looking for. So thank you so much. I mentioned in my written feedback that I only give feedback on assignments that arrive on time, but I did give you full credit, of course, because you did do the work. I just only give video feedback to the poems that are submitted by deadline. So thank you so much, Michael. I'm really excited about working with you and reading more of your work. If you have any questions, please don't hesitate to be in touch.